Hi guys, it is Nylah Stop By Books here, and welcome to my first book channel video. So you're probably like, what's going on? I was my friend's makeup model today, so that's why I look like this. So don't get used to these looks because I cannot duplicate this. But I thought this would be really fun to start this video with one of my top 5 best reads and my top 5 worst reads. You know, just to get a little like where my mind's at of like what I'd be reading nowadays and stuff. So I'm gonna make this kind of short and easy with explanations without spoiling everything. I'm gonna start with my worst. Okay, let's go. So A Certain Hunger. I don't think it's terrible, but the more that I read it, basically it's like cannibalism. Like this woman who eats and has sex a lot, and she kind of makes it into like more of like a cannibalism thing, and it's just she gets pure excitement out of it. It's just very weird. I've read the whole thing because I was like, I really just don't want to, just put it on my shelf and not read it again. But this was a hard 6 for sure. Maybe I just need to have an open mind, but this was not it. Okay? Now, before y'all come at me, I'ma just tell you this. I've listened to everyone on Book Talk. You know what? Actually, yeah, let's talk about it. I've been listening to everyone on Book Talk, and I was like, you know what? Everyone's hyping this book up. So, let me buy it and let me give it a read. And to the fans out there that is a big fan of this book, I'm sorry. Please don't come for me. I cannot. I only made it to page 28. That's how far I can only read. I kind of read a little bit more, but I forgot, so I reread it again. I just can't pass, this pick-me girl of how poor she is, how she has to fend for herself, how fragile, how petite she is. It's so boring. I can't. And I love fantasy books, but I just can't. This book really just gave me a headache. And it made me want to curse everyone out that told me to get this book in the first place. And the worst part is everyone knows that this book is boring. And they're like, no, just keep reading. It gets better. It gets better. I'm not reading this no more. This is garbage. Like, I regret buying this. My number 1 hateful book. Now, before you judge me with this book, I was also told that this was a good read. A Court of the Vampire Queen. And let me just say this. There's no plot. There's no climax. It's just smut. It's all smut. You want to read corn? Then this is the book for you, because this has nothing to do with... I promise you, I finished this whole book because I was like, okay, we're kind of getting to, the main problem. And I promise you, the climax was a page and a half. I'm disappointed. You may be asking, why are all these books still on my shelf? I don't know why. I want to donate them, but I want to replace it with other good quality books. But I don't know, like, if these books would be the ones that I should donate. I just can't. This is not it. Not for romance. This isn't even romance. This is just... Ah! Alright. My next least favorite book. To anyone that kind of owns this book, it kind of gives off, let me try to change my life. And I get it, because I was just like you. I was trying to change my life, and I was like, you know what, like, everyone says that this book is good. But once it started talking about, like, statistics and just numbers, and when you read it, it's basically something that you can listen to a podcast. Like, I don't need this. It's just more of like an affirmation book. Like, if I wanted affirmations, I could just play a little podcast that can just say affirmations to me. It's just a waste of money for self-help books to me. But it could be because, like, I'm religious, so I like read the Bible, though that helps me. But if you're not religious, still don't go to this one. This is not it. This is like a false advertisement on how to better yourself. It did not help me. Where was I at? What's the last page? Yeah, 25. Because it keeps repeating the same thing over and over again. It's pointless. This one book I also dislike, but it's also very big, and Dochi kind of made it big again. And I've had this book before her, but I was like, you know what, let me try to get into it. It's called The Artist's Way. Granted, it does have some good techniques, like if you're an artist, you know, to go take yourself on a date once a week and write journal every morning, which is great. I'm not really big on self-help books. They all just seem like they write the same thing. Although this does have activities for you to do it's basically like a shadow work journal and you just read a lot. It didn't help me. I don't know, I try to be open-minded when it comes to self-help books, but something about this I'm just like, mid AF. So I've tried Julia Cameron, I'm sorry. It might work for you guys. A lot of people had good results with it. It's just, for me, bland, basic. Every self-help book writes the same thing. So now that we got the bad part out the way, let's start with the good books. So I'm currently reading this book, but I think it's so good when it comes to storytelling, how it talks about like political and, you know, warfare. And I love the main character. I love how it's a woman, and it's called The Poppy War. And let me tell you something, this is the only time that BookTok got this right, because I was like, I don't want to be influenced again, but I was. And it's actually really good. Especially for a fiction book, it has so much information about everything. And it's not the type of book to just get better after a few chapters. Like, it really sucks you in of the setting, what happened, what's going on. You know, it's about a girl who's about to get married off into an old man that she really does not care about, but she wants to go into the military so she can escape from that, and then she discovers something, no spoilers. It's just so good. Right now, I just haven't been reading it because I've been working so much, so I haven't had the time. But it's so good, I got the second book, just in case, because I know I'm gonna keep reading. It's a whole trilogy series, so I'm halfway there. So this book, it's called Latvana. I am not a girl that likes horror books, but this one right here, I kept reading chapter after chapter, and I just could not stop. This was so good. Some of the scenes were very uncomfortable. There is a lot of scenes. Disclaimer, if you do get this book, it is very disturbing, and there are some scenes that will probably make you close the book and like take a break a little bit. But it really got me out of my comfort zone of just reading like fantasy fiction, romance and stuff. I wanted to venture out into something else. This is really good if you want to venture into something else. The setting takes place like, I think, old times. I'm drawing a blank, I'm sorry. I always recommend this book to everyone who's trying to like venture off into like different genres and stuff, so I'm like, take it. All right, so the next book, I'm gonna have to cover it because this woman is new, and it's called Acts of Desperation. Now, one thing about this book is it's definitely an eye-opener. I love books that make me have like an open mind. Even though most of the characters are fiction, it gives me more of, you know, that human heart to just feel for them. Especially with the character that's in here, she just wants to be loved. From an outside standpoint of looking in, if you don't know what goes on in a toxic relationship, like this book describes everything that goes on, and it makes you less judgy of certain situations. It makes you, you know, find tendencies with other people, like when you find that they're not okay. So I really love how this book just opens your eyes a little bit more, especially with not giving the character a hard time. I know sometimes we read a book and we're like, oh, I hate this character. And granted, this character does make stupid decisions, but this is gold. This book is gold. I love it. Now, I know this is not a book. It is a manga. But let me tell you this. The story about it is amazing. Of course, it's Berserk. I have up to 10. I've been trying to order all of it, but right now I'm just starting up to 10. Once I first got this, I couldn't stop reading. It just keeps going and going, and I know like it's mostly like pictures in here, but when I tell you, even though pictures can get you hooked on certain stories, it's the storyline that keeps you, you know, engaged. And one thing about Berserk, it has a lot of turmoil, a lot of defeats, a lot of uncomfortable situations, how you grew up, and especially with the character guts of what he's went through when he was a baby. Basically, like, since he was born, he was going through a lot and forced to do certain things. It was just, I've never been hooked on to a book like this. Manga, sorry. But if you ever want to venture out into it, it does have sensitive topics in here, so please be mindful if you're not okay with that. First page, I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. Trust. Yeah, love Berserk, and I can't wait to read the series. I know it's not finished. I don't think it's ever going to finish, but hopeful and wishful thinking that somebody finds an ending to this, but we ball. And the last book that's in my top 5 reads, it's a romance book, and it was very hard to pick. King of Envy. Anna Huang, let me tell you something. That woman knows how to write. And although I didn't read the whole series, listen, I just found out the main character was black, so I took the opportunity, obviously. One thing I really like about Anna Huang's writing is a lot of people that write characters, especially black characters, you can see a little bit of like the microaggression within it. She does not do that. She puts everything in so smoothly and like educates everyone about like the culture, like how she has braids or when she wears a bonnet or has a healthy family and all that stuff. There's a lot of writers that always writes about like, you know, black women and the turmoil and their broken family. Like I'm so annoyed of reading stuff like that. Absolutely not. Vuk, I hope I'm saying the name right, but a morally gray man. But when I'm talking about yearning, this is a yearner. Oh my gosh, I love everything about this book. Wait, hold on, wait. Did I take my sticky notes out? I did. I took my sticky notes out because my friend was reading it and all that stuff, and I don't want her to see how crazy I am. Anyways, for a romance book, I love this so much. I love the length of it. I love the pacing of it. I love the different point of views of Ayana and Vuk. I love those. I love to see what the characters are going through inside their heads. This is definitely like my top 5 reads. Love this, and I'm gonna read it again. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making this video. I can't wait to make more book videos right now. I'm trying to finish The Poppy War, and then I want to do maybe a book review about that book in depth, so there might be some spoilers, so take that with what you will. And also, if you're also into reading literature too, put me on to some books that you guys read. As long as it's not too cheesy, be good quality. Like I know, like I just showed you my top 5 reads and my top 5 best reads. Who knows if you even liked either of those. Yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!